Okay, fam, welcome back. So today we're going to be going over the grayscale trusts. So with that being said, let's get it. All right, so before we go over this, I did want to tell you guys that we have major tech earnings coming up. Tomorrow is going to be Tesla, so that's something to keep an eye out for. And on Thursday, we also have, I believe it's initial and continuing jobless claims coming up on Thursday. So that is the only data that we're going to get from the jobs market this week. Pretty much the rest is just going to be earnings. So let's go ahead and get into it. All right. So you can see we're in this kind of bear flag formation here. Again, the reason I think this is not going to play out as a bear flag is for two reasons. Number one, the MACD and the RSI are very bullish looking. We're about to get that golden cross on the MACD. And the second reason is usually if a bear flag is going to play out bearish, it usually happens earlier in the trend. So you can see we're kind of at the bottom of the move here. That is not likely where a bear flag is going to play out. I'll show you guys actually an example of this. Usually we only take a look at more bullish indicators because, again, the markets are in a bull trend. But you guys can see here very clearly what an example of a bear flag playing out in the middle of a trend would look like. So we got one here. You could even theoretically say that this also would have been a bear flag. Again, this is a bearish pattern. But as you guys can see, these usually do not play out at the bottom of a move. They usually play out in the middle of a move or at the top of a move, but not quite at the bottom, in my opinion. Likely, I think LTCN is pretty close to its bottom at this point. Okay, so now going back to the charts. So once again, about to get that MACD golden cross. It's coming here pretty quick. I think crypto is going to start moving up pretty aggressively right after the elections. I would not be surprised. It's usually what happens. So support anywhere from, let's say, about 12.5 to 15, and then you got this 25 to 27 area, 54 at the swing high, and then you have anything from that all the way up to 510, which is the previous all-time highs. So about 112 to 337% gain. BCHG. So we did get a breakout of this inverse head and shoulders. The target for that is roughly about 970. I can always go over a TA video for you guys at a later point in time, showing you kind of how all these different price patterns work and how to measure them, what to look for in terms of whether it's going to play out or not, probabilities, all that kind of stuff. That's not for this video though. So support or buy area, I'd say at this point anywhere from probably 650 to about 760. It could come all the way back down to $6, like maybe get a wick down there and pop back up. But based on this candle here, I would say that's probably not going to happen. So 1030 to 1260 here at resistance. Above that, roughly about 18 to 20. Then the swing high is going to be at 24. Measured moves here, roughly about 92, 210%, and 270% respectively. HZEN, so we did get a break out of the falling wedge. Again, the target for the wedge is the top of the wedge. In this case, it is a bullish pattern. A rising wedge would be the opposite. That would be bearish. So that price target's roughly about 1050. Support down here, 345 to 420. Resistance, 680 to about 810. This thing is looking very bullish in my opinion. So 90%, 152%. Again, we have gotten above these candles right here with these ones, which indicates a not quite a trend change, but we're kind of moving in that direction. We'd have to get above 560, 570, somewhere there with the candle close to actually have a trend change. Okay, so ETCG, I'd say the buy area for this one's anywhere from 750 to about $10 is a good area. It has spent a long time in that area. And then targets could be anywhere from 1340 to about $20. So measured moves here would be about 110 to 165%. ETH, this one is slowly moving up. This could be considered a double bottom or a W pattern. Either one is bullish. There is also a little gap here that needs to be filled, with the top of it being roughly about 25 and a quarter. So support down here at 1850, and then you got 23 to about 28.5, and then the cup and handle target here is 47.5. Again, there's a lot of cup and handles going on lately. You got one on the S&P. You got one on Bitcoin, you got one on gold, you have one here on ETH. So lots of cup and handles. So you got 55% and almost 160%. GBAT, we're finally starting to get the green here on the histogram. You can see that down below. That's very bullish. So support down here, $4.70 to about $5.10. Resistance, $8 to about $10. And then the all-time high at 32, which again, for a lot of these altcoin related trusts, I don't think these are actually going to be the all-time highs. I think many of them are going to push past the most recent all-time high that they had. So 125% and 617% respectively, FILG, FILG, whatever you want to call it. So this thing is between 35 to 43 on support. Again, we're getting the green on the histogram. You can see it there. It's barely noticeable, but it is there. And the EMAs are touching. That's always a good sign. So $400 going to be the all-time high here. Measured move here would be roughly about 870% from the swing low to the swing high. GLIV, I would say support down here roughly about 1250 to 1550, somewhere in there. $80 is the all-time high. This one's pretty much just a one shot. I mean, there's no real patterns here, any resistance zones to get past. It's just basically straight up. So 560% gain on this one. G-Link, this one is showing some signs of life. It's actually up 15% on the day. So support 40 to about 46. Again, we have these long wicks down here. That's always a good sign. That indicates bullish pressure is coming in. People are buying this on these dips. So 65 to 84 is going to be that resistance, and then 220 is the all-time high. So from support to resistance, 95%, and then you have about 420% respectively. GSOL, I think people are waiting for a spot Solana ETF on this one. That's why it's going sideways. Whether we get one or not, I still think that GSOL and Solana will probably go to new all-time highs this cycle. So 300 to about 350 is going to be the support there. The all-time high is at 580. Okay, so measured move here, roughly about 94%. GXLM, I would say a good buy area would be anywhere between 1480 to 2320. Again, it's kind of a wide range, but you can see the price since the week of August the 19th, which was a couple of months ago, has mainly kind of just been going sideways. Okay, so 52.50 to 58 is going to be resistance, and then 70 is that swing high up there. So this would be about 290 and 350% respectively. And in terms of GXLM, again, we only look at this usually on the max profit target videos. The all-time high is at 95, so it could easily go past 70. Okay, Mana, once again, we are getting the green on the histogram here. EMAs are touching. That's always a very bullish sign. So support's going to be down here at 1030. Resistance is 1720 to about 2040, and then the all-time high is at 70. Again, I don't think that's going to be the all-time high. Mana itself, the underlying token, did about a 300x on the last cycle. Okay, so 95%, 590% respectively. And, you know, a lot of people out there would be bearish on Mana and say, oh, the metaverse is dead. It's not going anywhere, guys. Yeah, we'll see. People that are bearish on markets tend to get wrecked more often than bulls, so I can't really say much more about that. You're entitled to your opinion. Doesn't mean you're going to be right. So Zcash here, the support area or the buy area is going to be between $3 to $6. Resistance is going to be 8 to about 960. And then the swing high up there is going to be roughly about 10 and a quarter. So it's pretty much just kind of sitting in accumulation at this point. 195% and 220% respectively. All right. Hope you all enjoyed this content. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.